There's no two ways about it. The wokery world that we live in is really very bad for business. We've seen it, haven't we, around the world. Let's not forget the ridiculous campaign that virtually trashed Bud Light overnight. There's so many campaigns that because CEO bosses who are literally quite woke themselves are ruining brands that have taken, 30, 50, 100 years to build up. Look at the disaster looming with Disney and their brand new remake of Snow White. You couldn't make this stuff up. And the bottom line is it's been a very successful company until they let these mad hatters take over at the top. Step forward though, another brand, let me tell you, a brand that was very successful for many years, but is now set to go the same way as Bud Light. Let me explain. You see, if you can afford it, many years ago, there was this brand new rise, wasn't there, particularly in the 50s and 60s, where men had to get an electric shaver. And in my day, I remember the ads very early on. I was only young, by the way, with Remington. Do you remember the Remington razor? And the guy that did it, he was just, well, very clever at marketing, wasn't it? The other option, of course, was Braun. And then, that really took off too. They were rather expensive, and it was one of those things that you either got at a birthday or indeed at Christmas time. Now, though, in this woke world, they've decided to shock the rest of us by using a transgender model. I think that's the right phrase. I can never understand this claptrap. But anyway, apparently it was a woman who's now a man, and basically they're showing the scars in the mirror as this person's having a shave. Couldn't make it up. Now, quite how this sells razors to the masses, which are men, well, it remains to be seen. But the bottom line is Braun apparently are sticking by this. Now, here's my theory. That, sales are down dramatically. Let's shock people into reminding people that Braun make razors. So if you're shocked by this, next time you go into Boots or an electrical store, you might think, oh, I could buy a Braun razor. But would this image actually make you buy said razor? Well, a recent poll over here has said they found this particular ad offensive and something of a turn-off, as you can imagine. But the company are sticking by it so far. The only way that this will change will be, of course, when sales radically plummet to the absolute bottom line. People will be fired, there'll be huge layoffs, and of course, it's, as I've said to you before, the underdog that loses out, the hard workers that put the components together to make said razors. The people at the top will move on with their pension plans, and of course the social media woke levies that have come up with this ridiculous campaign will simply move on to somewhere else and wreck that too. The reason why I'm sharing this, as ever, I'd love to know what you think of this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.